First time that we met, thought it was a false alarm. Yeah, we started as a spark, didn't think we'd come this far, but here we are. Oh, I'm dancing in flames, I'm dancing in flames. I ain't scared of the blaze, don't rescue me. And now I'm burning in your arms, and there's fire in my heart. No, it's not a false alarm. No, it's not a false alarm. Here we are. I never get my hopes up, 'cause then I'll never get let down.
Hi, I'm Shannon Catanella. I'm an artist here in America, and I've been listening to all kinds of music since I could remember. One of my favorite genres is electronic dance music, also known as EDM. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the experience and the information that I have about EDM. During my weekdays, I go to school and I work. But on my weekends, I get the amazing opportunity to go to the magical EDM realm that so many others also indulge in. Throughout our time together, I will discuss how EDM has become a huge limelight for today's generation. I'll also talk about the things that will assist you in attending an EDM festival. Things I'll talk about will include finances, vending, clothes, all the way to the dangers of EDM. Well, we have so many topics. Why don't we take this journey together? Traveling back to a time where the reference of electronic dance music was known as merely amateur underground artists in America. The year is 1977, and Giorgio Moroder is working with Donna Summer to produce the hit song I Feel Love. This song comes right out of the disco era. The song was made using synthesizers and drum machines and was meant to make its audience boogie down and dance. By 1979, they were working together to create Summer's highest-selling album called Bad Girls. This incorporated similar production techniques that I Feel Love used. After that, disco music began using a lot of these features through the 80s. And in the mid-1980s, the use of electronic characteristics in music became prevalent and began to start a new genre. Electronic dance music was born in the late 1985, but the term EDM was not used in media until the later half of the 90s. As electronic production dominated over disco, new subnames in that genre began to form, like electro, industrial, freestyle, house, and techno. As the American music industry decided to reference the EDM name in music and academic writing, the hybrid styles of EDM began to veer away from the original roots of where it came from, which was disco.
My cousin was a DJ years and years ago. He was a vinyl DJ, and when I was about 7 and 8, he let me play on his decks, and that's how I started to actually mix music into each other. The industry has changed so much because everything gets out of date, basically, like vinyl, CDJs, laptops, music gets out of date, everything basically changes. Like all the clubs are dying at the moment, and if you look at the charts, it's not like the olden days where it's just like a different sound comes in every year.
EDM was being played in many different places, but mainly in nightclubs and discotheques in the late 1980s. It was considered different than regular club music because club music was popular music, such as songs being played on the radio. But the fact of the matter is, all music can be put under a certain category based on who the person is. Each person can describe electronic dance music differently. Either way, both terms have multiple genres and can be vaguely used. They often are referred to as genres themselves. One thing we know for certain is the building blocks of electronic dance music. EDM was constructed by using electronic instruments such as synthesizers, drum machines, and sequences. These genres generally emphasized the unique sounds of those instruments, even when mimicking the traditional sound of an acoustic instrumentation. In the early 1990s, times were advancing for EDM's creation. We began using an MIDI, which stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. This allowed personal computers to be used as a sequencer for controlling the instruments being used. Eventually, it solely relied on using computer-made beats. It made it a lot easier for a person to make beats without all the extra equipment.
Because DJing is not putting two records together, it's actually making beats while having two tracks together. So you can, like, when you've got one song playing in the background, you can add another couple of songs.
Soon, the age of bedroom studios would approach. So by the early 2000s, audio synthesis and sound manipulation was available as computer software, and EDM became completely computer-based. Frankie Bones was a man of great importance to the EDM rave culture in America. It is said that the rave scene began from him in 1989 when Bones booked a gig in the UK. After experiencing that and coming back over to America, he was now a 21-year-old ambitious producer and disc jockey with contacts and connections into the industry. He started the Peace, Love, Unity movement, which rocketed the idea of people coming together, the idea of electronic music, and the idea of rave. In an interview with Santino Fernandez, Bones said, "We jump-started it off with the Stop the Violence movement, which, like anything else happening at that time, came from hip-hop. We were pushing techno music in the exact same way I lived it through hip-hop. White folks still were not used to white kids who liked hip-hop. So, we really confused folks who didn't know any better. We weren't candy kids. We were actually using the American flag a lot. Otherwise, we came from the streets, like hip-hop, graffiti, and breakdancing. We were just pushing it as a movement of peace. People liked that idea. It needed to happen." Frankie Bones started a revolution for people to enjoy electronic dance music. He was an important part of bringing people together in one place to share the interest of EDM. His movement made a statement that electronic dance music is here and staying. From that movement began the era of EDM festivals. Unfortunately, in 1997, there was a turn for electronic music when MTV debuted The Prodigy, The Chemical Brothers, and Underworld on its show. The late 90s and 2000s were experiencing the post-golden age of EDM. Despite the change in music, it would be a popular choice in years to follow. There was even more subgenres being created, such as drum and bass, trance, dubstep, house, and Moomba. EDM artists like Fatboy Slim and Moby achieved ubiquity in TV commercials and movie soundtracks. Raves in Southern California, which by the turn of the millennium reached the 20 to 40,000 attendance range, began to take on a trance music type like Paul Oakenfold, also known as Paul Van Dyke. Not only that, but these different types have influenced some types of pop music today. It has grown to be an influential part of mainstream music. Many mainstream artists today, like Katy Perry, Selena Gomez, and Hayley Williams from Paramore, have began to incorporate these sounds into their own music. Now, in 2017, the EDM culture has grown tremendously. Some of the festivals that people go to include Electronic Daisy Carnival, also known as EDC, Camp Bisco, Electric Forest, Holy Ship, and so many more. One of the hardest things to do is to not forget something, but that's all right, because the experience that you have at any festival or concert is absolutely groovy. Well, why don't I actually let you know things that will help and assist you going to a festival or concert. Festivals of any kind have been around since the 60s, like Woodstock. From bluegrass and folk to indie and heavy metal, the best part is that music festivals take place all over the US. Although EDM festivals can be a little more unique than your ordinary music festival.
But I can get my way around a festival. I know who I'm there to see, and I know how to pick the right plans to be able to hit all the stages. I was seeing set by Major Lazer. Diplo is a pretty big producer in the electronic dance music realm. But Major Lazer is one of his side projects, and I was seeing him, and it was just a wild show. It was actually like a pretty small crowd, but anyway, so I ended up getting pulled on stage by Diplo. Like, chose me out of the whole crowd, and they like brought me up. Security like lifted me over the barricade and put me on stage, and then he just had me lay like flat in front of his DJ setup, like where the speakers were on the stage, just in the center. I was just laying on my back. And I think at this point in the show, I'm wearing nothing but like shorts and suspenders. Like, I don't think I had a shirt on. But what little remaining clothes that I did have on, his dancers started to pull off of me to an extent. I mean, I'm on stage, I'm not like getting paid, you know. His dancers just started twerking on me on the stage in front of all these people when the beat dropped after I had gotten pulled up. And it was just like the craziest experience to be like on stage with one of my heroes, first of all, but then just like to be in that state of mind where like the booty was just that close. It was really intense, and just awesome to be able to dap up Diplo, and yeah.
A good thing to remember when attending a festival or concert is to monitor your expenses.
I just remember spending a lot of money here and food.
A good amount of time, people spend a lot of money on just getting to the event, with food, drinks, camping supplies or a hotel, gas, flights, or public transportation. It's a good idea to know how much you have going into the festival and how much you'll spend when you are there. This way, you'll have the opportunity to spend money on things you really want and or need.
I went to a couple of them. I went to one in Vegas. I went to one in Baltimore. A lot of EDCs, stuff like that. Moonrise. Advantage of the complimentary breakfasts.
When attending a festival or rave, there will be vendors, also known as pop-up stores. At festivals, there's food vendors and also vendors where you will see all kinds of merchandise. Things will vary from keychains and jewelry to clothes, tapestries, and sculptures. You can literally find so many great memorabilia as well as everyday things.
Trixie Durkin.
I like rap, hip-hop, alternative.
He's all across the border. I like old school, I like classic rock, and then I like new stuff like EDM. My cousin is a DJ. Shout out Strix.
Artwork, lots of artwork.
Insomniac's always there.
Different kinds of artwork.
Insomniac is one of the biggest, music labels in EDM. They promote all different types of like fashion labels and artists and... Yeah.
Insomniac is a company that has been around since 1993. They are not just vendors, but also a company that puts on Electronic Daisy Carnival, EDC. For example, if you go to EDC, Insomniac Events picks the place, the artist, the vendors, lighting, pyrotechnics, sound design, and so much more. The clothing style culture of EDM has become a free expression of bright colors, crazy outfits, decorative accessories, and eclectic fashion. You will never cease to be amazed with some outfits that you find when at an event. Some people will really go all out. A good amount of the time, you will find different types of people at an event. There is usually a few different categories of people. One group is the all-out goers. These are usually the girls, guys that wear crazy bright decorative outfits, sometimes resembling a costume feel, and shows a lot of skin.
Some people like go super crazy. They're wearing like feather boas, and like there's always glitter. Like, you're gonna get covered in glitter. It's just a fact.
Another group of people are the comfy but stylish. People who dress in this category usually have a more chill vibe to their outfits. For girls, they wear typically a crop top or bra, with shorts or something that resembles underwear, with decorative accessories and some type of tennis shoes or sneakers. For most guys, this style is a fancy shirt and some cargo or basketball shorts. Another category of style would be the hippies. For this type of style, you would usually see a person wearing some funky psychedelic pants with a tank top, crop top, or t-shirt, and a scarf with different patterns on it. These are just some of the few things that you can wear and types of outfits that you see at an event. Of course, there are so many things to wear to a concert or festival, you don't have to follow any guidelines. You can wear anything that you want. Uniqueness is encouraged.
I always like to make my outfit the extravagant part of the night and add any type of, I like to wear Converse because they're comfortable. You need to be comfortable. Festivals, your outfit should be a little more downgraded at nighttime because it gets cold and you're there for long hours at a time, so you want to wear like a comfy jumper with like a crazy bandana and then get some like sweatshirt.
Some helpful tips in deciding your wardrobe is that a large portion of people also wear fanny packs or small, easy-to-reach backpacks. This helps with accessibility to getting to your stuff and can be a large fashion statement. Something else that a good amount of people who go to these events wear is something known as candy.
Beads and candy are both really popular. Candy is like homemade jewelry that people make, different pendants and stuff.
The cool part about this is the trading ritual. A lot of rave goers will make a bunch of candy the night before so that they are able to trade with others. They will put their fingers to the person they are trading with, make a peace sign, say peace, half a heart, say love, and then interlace their fingers with their partner and say unity. After that, they'll trade one of their bracelets with each other. Also, if you are at a festival, a good thing to invest in to wear is a camelback. It can be stylish and useful. EDM events have had some very distinctive stereotypes over the years. Some EDM events have been labeled to have many problems, like excessive drug alcohol use and rowdy mob-like behavior.
The issues surrounding EDM, basically, some people do drugs for their own gain because they think it's clever in their own body. And some people go for the music, for the thrill of the beat, and for the atmosphere, basically, when the crowd raises up. That's what most people go for as well.
Yeah, I feel like, but there's always those people that are like just there to like do all the crazy drugs that you can find, and they're like thrown up in the corner or like freaking out on shrooms somewhere.
That shit just comes to like
they go to the hospital
personal
and,
judgment. You should be able to tell.
Exactly. Most people go for like the music and have a good time.
Like when you're getting like bunk stuff, like you can just tell.
Mm-hmm. It depends on the attitude you're going with. If you go in, try and have a good time, you're gonna have a good time.
With everything, there is always something to be cautious about. The important thing to remember when at an event is to pace yourself and know your health. Some good advice would be to remember to drink lots of water.
The main advice is just stay hydrated.
Drink plenty of water.
And hydrate.
Yeah, hydrate.
That's just really important to stay hydrated.
And it is important to remember to nourish your body and eat food. Specific advice for multiple day festivals would be get some sleep. A good amount of the time, people get very sleep deprived because the festival goes night and day. It's better to plan to sleep during certain sets that you're not as interested in and don't mind taking a rest. Another important thing to remember is to not take things from strangers. Although everyone may seem nice and generous, it's just better to buy your own stuff. A lot of the dangers of EDM can just be avoided with simple planning and common sense.
And the best thing, what I do, is basically the actual reaction at the end. Basically, that's the best thing I do, because I just love. It gives me adrenaline, like when people just jump up and down and clap and whistle. That's what I get out of it. It makes me happy.
My advice is to have a great time and go with a good group of friends.
I would say for a festival, make sure you're going with a good group of people that can appreciate it the way you can.
EDM has become a huge spotlight for today's entertainment industry. From the inner workings of disco, when we began using an MIDI, to the fully integrated computer-based sounds, following to Frankie Bones and his music-changing revolution, all the way to what we consider to be the culture of EDM today. Hey! I hope you've had as much fun as I've had today. I hope that you've learned as much as I've been able to tell you. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out. It's been really fun. Now don't forget to check out everything else on the website. Go on, get out of here! All right. Ooh, a bala. My brother, when he was younger, used to pull his pants down and go, "Oh, $1." Cause we're tired of the same old shit. Yeah, just a new day that we can start all over. We just paint our faces with a big red smile. Can we ask ourselves if we're all